This 17 News at Noon podcast is brought to you by Clinica Sierra Vista.
Welcome back to the 17 News at Noon podcast, where we share your news on your schedule.
Good day, I'm Elena Rusk. Bakersfield police investigating a reported officer-involved shooting near Ridgeview High early this morning. The BPD says they were called out to the area of Aquamarine Peak Drive and Amazon Jade Street about 5:20 for a report of a man with a rock trying to break into homes. Investigators tell 17 News police shot at but missed that suspect. Police then used a taser and took that man into custody, and he was then reportedly taken to the hospital. We'll update this story as we get more information on our website, KGET.com. Meanwhile, the Kern County Sheriff's Office is warning people of thieves posing as deputies. KCSO posted on their Facebook page reporting several armed robberies over the weekend in Taft, saying thieves were wearing tan uniforms with a gold badge. The Sheriff's Office says deputies will never ask for money when they are contacting you, and to be on the lookout for impersonators. Officials say if you believe you were contacted or pulled over by someone who is not law enforcement, call 911. We are learning a woman has died in a shooting at a motel in South Bakersfield last night. Bakersfield police say it happened on Colony Street near Panama Lane outside a room at the Vagabond Inn just before 7:30 p.m. Officers confirmed this morning a woman died at the scene and a man was taken to the hospital in critical condition. Police say a man in his 20s ran away from the scene. About 30 minutes later, officers report they found that suspected shooter about a mile away and took him into custody. He has been identified as 23-year-old Vicente Nico Williams, and he is due in court on Wednesday. Meanwhile, a Bakersfield man under arrest after a deadly shooting in central Bakersfield earlier this week. Officers were called to 1st Street near Oleander Avenue just before 7 Friday night. When they arrived, they found a woman on the ground suffering from a gunshot wound, and she died at the scene. That woman, and now identified as 37-year-old Christine Patrice Medina, but it's unclear what led up to the deadly shooting. Yesterday, police arrested their suspected shooter, identified as 54-year-old Glenn Jones. He was booked into the Kern County Jail facing murder charges and is due in court tomorrow. The Kern County coroner releasing the name of a man who was stabbed to death in Arvin last month. Kern County Sheriff's deputies say 29-year-old Merlin Noe Rodriguez Valle of San Francisco was found stabbed to death on Buena Vista Boulevard the evening of July 22nd. The coroner confirms the manner of death was multiple stab wounds, but deputies have not released any suspect information. If you know anything about this homicide or any of the cases we have mentioned, you're asked to call the Sheriff's Office at 861-3110, or you can remain anonymous and call in a tip to the Secret Witness Hotline at 822-4040. Now to your 17 Court Watch. A man and woman have been charged with murder in the death of a 1-year-old in Lake Isabella. An investigation began on January 28th when deputies say they were called out to a home on Burney Drive, west of Lake Isabella Boulevard and north of Chain Avenue, to a report of a child not breathing. That child found unresponsive and could not be resuscitated. Ashley Safel and Jeffrey Sullins were arrested following the child's death in January, but were then released. Then charges were filed last week, and court records obtained by 17 News show Safel was arrested Friday and she was charged with second-degree murder. She is due in court tomorrow. Sullins has been charged with second-degree murder, assault on a child causing death, and child cruelty, but he is not currently listed in custody.
Hello, this is Tim Callahan with Clinica Sierra Vista, and we're excited to unveil the Community Health Center of the Future, our comprehensive care center. It's located right across the street from Memorial Hospital. We have every service under one roof, from family medicine, OBGYN care, dental services for adults and children, behavioral health, and much more. So find your way to better care at Clinica Sierra Vista this year at our comprehensive care center. Visit our website, clinicasierravista.org, for the latest on this project. We'll see you soon.
Most kids are heading back to school this week, and the BPD reminding the public about driving safe with school buses returning to the roads. Officers say drivers should obey all speed limits, especially in those school zones. Avoid unnecessary distractions when you're driving, especially when children may be present. Stop when a school bus has its stop sign extended or when the bus driver exits the bus to escort students across the street. And be extra careful when driving in your neighborhood before, during, and after school hours when kids may be around. And as the schools reopen, the Valley Air District asking parents to turn off their car while waiting to pick up students at the end of the school day. Officials say turning the car off helps reduce pollution and student exposure to vehicle emissions, as increased school traffic contributes to the formation of ground-level ozone. You can reduce emissions also by carpooling with neighbors or friends, taking the school bus, or walking kids to school when the air quality allows. Now, in other health headlines, there's a new case of West Nile virus confirmed here in Kern County. The Department of Public Health confirming this is the first case since July 22nd and the fourth case overall this season. Most people infected with West Nile virus don't develop any symptoms. The CDC says 1 in 5 people who are infected do develop a fever with other symptoms such as a headache, body aches, joint pain, vomiting or diarrhea or a rash. Most people with symptoms due to West Nile recover completely, but fatigue and weakness can last for weeks or even months. Now to some business news in the tech world. Google has launched a new website aimed at convincing Apple to work better together. Right now, both Apple and Google use their own messaging systems, and they're both supercharging those systems, allowing users to share higher quality images, read receipts, among other things. But those features only work properly when they're being shared on the same system. This causes blurry videos, broken group chats, and missing read receipts when iPhone users and Android users message each other. Google says this has all led up to peer pressure and bullying in favor of iMessages and iPhones. And now to some sports news. Bakersfield native Kevin Harvick won at Richmond Raceway on Sunday for his second consecutive NASCAR Cup Series victory.
60 wins. He's getting pretty darn good at those burnouts.
Harvick took the lead from Joey Logano with 66 laps to go and held off Christopher Bell, finishing first yet again 1 week after ending a 65-race drought. He matched Kyle Busch in career victories in the Premier Series. Harvick's victory also kept alive the intriguing battle for the final playoff position with 2 races remaining in this regular season.
The 17 News at Noon podcast is a production of KGET and Nexstar Media Group. For more on all of the headlines in today's show, head to kget.com.